Welcome back to Inside City Hall. A new Siena University poll focuses on a slew of issues across the state and country. It also gives us an early glimpse into how the 2026 governor's race may play out. The Siena poll found Governor Kathy Hochul currently has a 14-point lead over potential Republican challenger, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, although a lot could change between now and November of next year. Joining us to go over some of these noteworthy results is Siena University pollster Stephen Greenberg. Stephen, it's great to have you. Welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me. Joy to be here.
So we're still more than a year out from the race for governor, but let's run through some of the numbers of what you found with this hypothetical matchup between Governor Kathy Hochul and Congresswoman Elise Stefanik. What did you find?
Well, as you said, we found a 14-point lead for Governor Hochul, and let's put that in context. This is a state, New York, where there are more than twice as many Democrats as there are Republicans. No Republican has won statewide in New York since George Pataki won his third term as governor back in 2002. Lee Zeldin came close 6 years ago against Kathy Hochul, lost by 6 points, but to be within 14 points more than a year out has got to make Stefanik feel good, particularly since back in June, we had Hochul leading Stefanik by 23 points. So why did it close from 23 points to 14 points? Republicans came home. Back in June, Stefanik was leading Hochul with Republicans by a 55 to 15% margin. Now it's 75 to 13%. So Stefanik has picked up with Republicans as expected. But as you indicated, there's a long way to go. 10 months to potential Republican or Democratic primaries and 15 months till the general election.
Stephen, what did you learn about how independent voters leaned when looking between Hochul and Stefanik?
Well, right now they're leaning towards Stefanik by 3 points. Back in June, they were leaning towards Hochul by 7 points. So a 10-point net turnaround among independent voters. But I think what we have to recognize as well is Kathy Hochul at this point is known to the voters of the state. She's been the governor for 4 years. Stefanik is becoming known. About half of New Yorkers say they know at least something about her. Half of New Yorkers know very little or nothing about her. So there's room for Stefanik to grow both positively and negatively.
When you look, are you able to look at these numbers between Hochul and Stefanik just in terms of New York City voters? I know this was a statewide poll.
Absolutely. You'll have to forgive me, I have to just turn a page here, but among New York City voters, Hochul leads by a 55 to 19% margin. In the downstate suburbs around the city, Stefanik leads 41 to 39, but very close. And equally as close in upstate, where Hochul has a 1 point, 40 to 39 point edge.
Very interesting contrast between New York City and the suburbs right around New York City. Your poll also includes some more positive news for Governor Hochul with her approval and favorability ratings ticking upwards. What did you hear from voters across the state in terms of why they might be viewing the governor more favorably?
It's hard to know. They like many of her policies that we've asked about this month and in past months. But what's interesting is that her favorability rating right now is close to break even, 42% favorable, 44% unfavorable, couple points better than it was last month. But we should point out that in a state where 49% of the enrolled voters are Democrats, in the 4 years that Hochul has been governor, never once has her favorability rating hit 49% or better. On the good news side for the governor is her job approval rating. Right now, 53% of New Yorkers approve the job that Hochul's doing, 41% disapprove. It is the best job approval rating Governor Hochul has had since March of 2023, about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, some positive news for the governor there. You also asked about President Trump's big, beautiful bill. What did folks have to say?
Well, we asked voters a couple questions about it. We said, if the feds cut money to New York, should New York make up for that shortfall more by raising taxes or more by cutting services? And the voters, by a 36 to 24% margin, say cut services more than raising taxes. 16% of New Yorkers said, well, a little of both. We also asked about the Medicaid cuts, particularly as it affects illegal immigrants living in New York illegally. The feds have cut off Medicaid money for that. It will cost New York State about $3 billion a year to continue to provide that health care coverage. And we asked New Yorkers, do they support or oppose that? By a 51 to 34% margin, New Yorkers say thumbs down. They don't like that idea. Democrats are mildly supportive, but Republicans and independent voters are strongly opposed. And finally, we asked voters, how concerned are they about rural hospitals closing as a result of the big, beautiful bill? 69% of voters say they are very or somewhat concerned. 43% say they're very concerned. So, New Yorkers, Democrats, Republicans, and independents, upstaters and downstaters, are concerned about rural hospitals and the impact the big, beautiful bill could have on them.
And Stephen, quickly touching on the mayor's race here in New York City, former Governor Cuomo may be in second place in the polls for mayor, but he certainly isn't very popular statewide. Your poll found that Cuomo has the worst approval rating in the history of his political career. Besides being 19 points behind his rival Zoran Mamdani, he has a 61% unfavorable opinion among voters statewide, even from a statewide lens. What do these numbers tell you about the mayoral race here in New York City?
Well, we should put in context that this was a statewide Siena poll. We asked the 39% of registered voters who live in New York City who were in our sample about the mayor's race. And as you said, it shows that Mamdani has a 19-point lead over Cuomo right now, with Sliwa in third and Mayor Adams in fourth place right now. But what we did find is both Mayor Adams at a near record low in terms of his favorability, and Andrew Cuomo, who was included in the first Siena poll back in February 2005. So we've been asking about Andrew Cuomo for 20 years. This is the worst favorability rating he's ever had, including right after he resigned as governor. Currently, only 29% of New Yorkers view Cuomo favorably, 61% view him unfavorably. Among Democrats alone, it's 36 favorable, but a majority of Democrats, 56%, view him unfavorably. And if we look at just New York City, 37% favorable, 54% unfavorable.
Okay, thank you, Stephen Greenberg. We appreciate you running through the numbers for us. And it is now time for a quick